This is a Nervous Chuckles production. Hey!
I'm reviewing here!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of I'm Reviewing Here, a podcast where I, Matthew Bussey, watch and review Sight and Sound's top greatest movies of all time. Did I just say Sight and Sounds? Sight and Sounds. That's what I meant to say. Sight and Sound. Sight and Sound apostrophe S. I sneeze. I hope that you're all doing really, really well. I'm in one of my weird nostalgia phases this week where I've just suddenly started rewatching an old show that I used to watch when I was a kid. This time it's Sister Sister. Sister Sister! Remember that show? Okay, it's an iconic show. Go watch it if you haven't watched it already. It's on Paramount Plus. That show was my baby when I was a kid. Every day. It was that. It was even Stevens. It was Lizzie McGuire. And then That's So Raven. And I always wanted them to do a what's it called? A mashup episode of That's So Raven where it was called That's So Lizzie, but it never happened. Or, Raven McGuire. I don't know. Even McGuire. Something. They should have done that, but they never did. Anyway, Sister Sister, great show. And Lisa Landry is still my favorite character of all time. But let's not get into that, shall we? I'm trying to be really happy right now because, I am happy. I'm in a good mood. But this movie I'm going to talk about today is fucked up. Yeah, it is It's a dark one. It's a doozy. It's a dark one. No, I said it again. Why don't I ever freaking know what doozy means? Time out. Stand by. Doozy meaning. Oh, something extraordinary or remarkable of its kind. Oh, okay, I got it right. It is a doozy. It's a French movie. It is a doozy. It came out in the 80s. I'd never heard of it before. I watched it on the Criterion channel where you can also watch a ton of these movies that I'm reviewing. Go check it out. Go download it. It's so good. It's so worth it. If you love movies like me, go do it. If you don't love movies like me, why are you listening to this podcast? Fuck off. I'm just kidding. Oh my God. I'm also just in a good mood because I think I'm ready to go and fix my pump finally. And yeah, I should have started like a vlog about my journey with trying to fix this pump in my goddamn basement. But yeah, I think I got it. Well, now that I just said it, it means that I probably don't have it and something bad is going to happen. But touch wood. Okay. I'm going to talk about a movie today. It is called L'Argent. Money. But it's not called that. It's called L'Argent. Take a listen to this trailer because there's a lot of dialogue in it. Are you ready? That's funny. I'm funny. I'm so funny. Yeah, I thought that would be such a funny joke, and it is. If you're not laughing, then go to hell. No, I'm just kidding. I'm really stupid. I'm really sorry, you guys. I hope that this is probably why I lose followers. But it's all good. It's all worth it. Yeah, L'Argent. That is the trailer. There's no speaking in the trailer. There is there is speaking in the movie. Oh my goodness. Oh me. Oh my. Yeah, L'Argent. This is like a very, very shocking film about the human condition. Well, it's about two things. It's about how money is a little bitch and money screws everything up and money can turn us into killers. Money, greediness, avarice, whatever you want to call it. I just like to use the word avarice, avaricious. Oh, it's so good. Avariciousness. It's a real word. Look it up. Yeah, it's a movie about that. It's a movie about greed. It's a movie, well, even less about greed, just more about how money is a killer, money personified is a killer, like literally. And this movie is I thought it was incredible. No, I loved it. It's not a happy one. But yeah, it's about money. And I think it's also just a film about how there is a darkness and I don't mean to sound hokey and Star Wars-y here, but there really is a dark side in every one of us, And that's what makes the movie so effective. Now, I'm going to obviously go over it, but what happens in the movie. There's something that happens in the third act that is so unexpected and so jaw-dropping and just so disturbing that at first I didn't really believe it. At first I kind of had to like rewind. I was like, wait, he didn't just do that. Are you kidding? What? Huh? But, you know, in thinking more about the movie, you really do come to understand, all right, I kind of can see why this guy did it, and it is believable. I think I'm just going to give it away right now. There's a murder in this movie, and you don't expect it to happen. I think it's genius. It did surprise me at first, but I think it's incredible. Now, this is a movie by, did I say what year it came out in? I'm sorry, I forget if I did. It came out in 1983, and it's a movie that was written and directed by Robert Bresson. Now, he did a movie eons ago that I reviewed, that made no sense, that I reviewed called Mouchette. It came out in the 60s, I think? Oh yeah, 1967. A black and white movie. Also one of the most depressing movies I've ever seen. It's a movie about a little teenage girl who has the worst life imaginable. Everything bad that can possibly be bad happens to her. And, yeah. That's that movie. Again, I thought it was really good, but Jesus Christ, it's dark. Now, he also did a few other movies that I haven't seen yet. He did a movie called Au Hasard Balthazar, which I have not seen yet, and Pickpocket. Yeah, he's a genius director. He lived a long life. He lived to be 98 years old, and he wasn't really a French New Wave director. He's not really credited with doing that. He just was his own... He was a unique artist. You know, he kind of had his own style. He always picked a lot of unknown non-actors in his films. His movies were sad, and he usually didn't have scores in his movies. His movies were usually just really based in reality and super bleak, but incredibly effective, incredibly well done, incredibly haunting. And L'Argent is, and this I could kind of see this. I mean, I act like I've read this guy's books, but Leo Tolstoy, it's loosely inspired by this novella, that he wrote called The Forged Coupon, which came out in, I believe it came out in the early 1900s, 1904, I think. I haven't read it, but I like this movie. It has a very old-fashioned kind of philosophical feel to it. You know, it's kind of like I said, it's about the human condition. It's about how we can really just become monsters without knowing it, you know? So, yeah, this movie really stuck with me. Damn.
Plot synopsis.
So this is also a movie, I forgot to say, it's a movie where there are a lot of characters that all are kind of interconnected through money. Money is like a key, obviously, it's called L'Argent, so obviously money is like a key part in this movie, but all the characters, it's not like a magnum opus of a film. It's a very short movie. It's under an hour and a half, actually, just under an hour and a half. But when I read the synopsis here, I just, try to pay close attention to each of these characters. So, because they're all connected. So, there's a young man. His name is Norbert. He enters his father's study to claim his monthly allowance. His father obliges, but Norbert presses for more, citing a debt he owes a schoolmate. The father dismisses him, and an appeal to his mother fails. So his dad is just like, no, you're not getting the money. Go away. Norbert tries to... I keep wanting to say Norbert, like that Eddie Murphy movie, but... yeah, okay. I've only seen that movie once. There's no need to see it again. Okay, Norbert tries to pawn his watch to a friend who instead gives him a forged 500 franc note. The boys take the counterfeit to a photo shop and use it to purchase a picture frame. When the store's co-manager finds out, he scolds his partner for her gullibility. She chides him in return for having accepted 2 forged notes the previous week. He then decides to pass off all 3 forged notes at the next opportunity. He uses them to pay Yvonne for delivering heating oil. Yvonne, played very well by this non-actor called Christian Patey, P-A-T-E-Y. Yvonne tries to pay his restaurant tab with the forged notes, but the waiter recognizes them as counterfeit. Yvonne is arrested, and the Photoshop people lie at his court trial. Yvonne avoids jail time, but he loses his job. So this is kind of like, already, everybody is fucking, like, bad in this film. I mean, Everyone, the people at the store, they're like, we don't believe in, lying and cheating and forgery, but then they go ahead and forge. It's like, geez, you don't want to live in this society, but it happens. This is like real life. A lot of people are like that. So it's crazy. Already, like, so much happens in this short span of time, and already you're just like, God, everybody is just is not sympathetic at all, except for this poor Yvonne guy who remember that character. He's the lead in this film. Yvonne is obviously a victim at the beginning of this. So one of the owners of the photo shop recognizes Norbert on the street with a group of his school friends, and she approaches the school authorities and accuses him to them. When the chaplain quizzes some of the students about the counterfeit bills, Norbert leaves the classroom. At home, his mother advises him to deny everything. Again, another person who is not doing the right thing. And she goes to the photo shop with a bribe for the owners to let the matter rest. Damn. It's a frustrating movie, I'm not going to lie. It is a frustrating movie. Lucien, who is the Photoshop assistant who committed perjury for his employers at the trial by refusing to recognize Yvonne, is revealed to have been making up prices while his employers are out of the shop and pocketing the difference. His scam is discovered and he is fired, but he keeps a copy of the shop's keys. He and two friends rob the shop's safe and begin an ATM card skimming operation. Oh boy. In need of money, Yvonne asks for a friend as the driver of a getaway car for bank robbers. Yeah, this escalates so friggin' quickly. The police foil the robbery and arrest Yvonne, who is tried and sentenced to 3 years in prison. While there, Yvonne learns of his daughter's death and his wife's decision to start a new life without him. He unsuccessfully attempts suicide. Are you still with me? You're still with me, I hope so. Listening, I mean. Lucien and his accomplices are eventually caught and arrested, and Lucien is sent to the same prison as Yvonne. Lucien offers to include Yvonne in a prison break attempt, but Yvonne refuses. Yvonne blames Lucien for his troubles and wants revenge. Lucien proceeds with his escape plan, but Yvonne and his cellmate hear commotion in the hallway that indicates that Lucien has been caught. Yvonne's cellmate speculates that Lucien will probably be transferred to a more severe maximum security prison. It's a sad sequence because, look, Lucien is a piece of shit, obviously, but there's a little bit of humanity left in him because he kind of does feel for Yvonne, but it's kind of like his only way of forgiveness is basically to break the law some more and escape this big, prison escape, So it's kind of like he's like an anti-hero in a weird way. He's also like a kid in this film, so I mean that's no excuse, of course, but he's just getting into trouble, but that there is probably something good deep down, and there is something humane in him and trying to help Yvonne out, but it's just a bad plan. So, oh man. So Yvonne obviously is a wreck. His baby daughter died, and his wife left him. After being released from prison, Yvonne murders and robs a pair of hotel keepers. This I was confused about because he just it's all about, Bresson, the director, Robert Bresson, he's all about detail in his movies. You don't see Yvonne enter a hotel and go up to the front desk and go, I'm going to kill you. Je vais vous tuer. Okay. You don't see any of that. You literally just see him walking in. You see the sign at the top, hotel. And then you see him in there, and it's assumed that time has passed, and there's nobody in there. And then he goes to the sink, and he's washing his hands, and you see blood coming off. And again, I had to rewind it. I was like, did he get a bloody nose, or what is what? I'm so confused. Did he kill them? He did. He is taken in by a kind woman over the objection of her father. Her father slaps her and is like, what are you doing? Who is this guy? Some time passes, and are you ready? One night, Yvonne kills them along with others in their house with an axe. I'm telling the truth. Yeah. He goes to a cafe, confesses to a police officer, and is arrested. And then the movie ends. There are no end credits. It just, boom, ends. The freakin' end.
Justement, il n'est pas bon. Et celui-là? Non plus.
Celui-là? Alors rendez-les-moi, j'irai les rendre au monsieur qui me les a donnés et qui m'en donnera d'autres.
Je ne te les rendrai pas.
De quel droit vous les gardez?
Tu es l'un de ces petits malfrats qui répandent partout la fausse monnaie.
The actor, or the character Yvonne, the actor who plays him, he reminded me a lot of like Louis Garrel. Do you know Louis Garrel? Louis Garrel, you'd probably recognize him. I'm trying, what like American movies was? Little Women, he was in the remake with Saoirse Ronan, excuse me. He played, obviously, the French guy in it, the one that, you know, she ends up, well, spoiler, ends up liking at the end of the movie. And, I can't really think of any other American movies, but look him up. He's a great actor, and he reminds me a lot of the actor in the film, Christian Pate. Pate. But not like pate, like the food. Okay, anyway, sorry, tangent. Okay, L'Argent. Wow, and you know, the final shot of this movie, it stuck with me the most. So, you know, Yvonne is in the cafe, and he confesses to this police officer, and there's this really amazing quick shot, very haunting shot where he, you know, the police officer, you know, grabs him and escorts him out, and you see all these people right outside the cafe, and they watch him. The camera's right behind the crowd, and they watch him come out. He gets escorted out by this cop, and then everybody, just all these onlookers, they just look back into the cafe, and there's nobody there. And then the movie just ends, and it's completely quiet. Now, what does that mean? I really liked what there's this critic, Tom Milne of what does Tom Milne write for? World Film Directors? Oh, I forget what he writes for. He's a British film critic. He said that he called the ending of the film, that final sequence, an extraordinary apotheosis. And he said the breathless wonderment in the last shot of onlookers frozen as they gaze into the empty room from which all evidence of crime has gone. It's a very like poetic moment. All the crime is gone now. All the crime is literally out of that cafe and it's empty. You know, I don't know how else to explain it. It's just so, Bresson has taken so many shots that seem like generic, you know, it's just like, well, what's the big deal there? But they really like stick with you. This guy was a genius, Robert Bresson. I mean, it's amazing. This is when I love movies so much. It's amazing how filmmakers can do that. They can do so much with so little, you know, that's what people say. But yeah, L'Argent, I was hooked from beginning to end. I was very sad. I was very riveted at the same time. I was really amazed by the characters in this film. You know, I mentioned Lucien and that humanity deep down in him. Look, he turns into a lunatic, Yvon. He turns into an axe-wielding Lizzie Borden psycho. But that final scene, he turns himself in. It's like these people are so flawed, and they do a lot of them do horrendous things. But again, there is that thing in them that is like, I think I really am good. I don't mean what I do. I just can't stop. You know, it's kind of like you read, I read about this because like I love true crime podcasts and true crime in general. I read up a lot about like criminals and why they kept doing what they were doing, even though they claimed that they weren't bad people. And I think for them, it's like, once you start, you just can't stop. It's like drugs, you know, you can't stop. You can't stop it. There's no going back. I'm thinking now about when I reviewed Heat with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. It's like Robert De Niro's character, he's a criminal, he's a thief in it, but he knows he's going to go to jail. He knows that the cops are always after him. He can't stop. There's just no other way for him to live. And Yvon is kind of an exception where he really does just go, I'm screwed already. Look what I've become. Look at what money, all of this has to do with money too. Look what it's turned me into, you know? So him turning into a murderer, it did shock the crap out of me. And I'm not going to lie, at first I was a little bit taken aback. I thought it was like, huh? But it just like so out of the ordinary, so shocking. But Again, though, Bresson, he doesn't glamorize it. He doesn't glorify it at all. You know, you don't even see the people. Wait, do you see them get murdered? You do a little bit, but it's not like graphic. It's nothing like that. It's a very well done sequence because a part of you you don't sympathize with Yvon, but you understand why he's turned into this madman, you know? Got nothing left. All thanks to this little bitch we all call money. BTS Secrets and Scandals! There's not a lot with this movie. Not a lot of secrets, not a lot of trivia. No, kind of quick, kind of brief, but it's all good. The most famous thing about L'Argent is that it was Robert Bresson's last film, and he also has been quoted as saying that this was his most satisfied film that he ever made. I liked it more than Mouchette. I think this has a lot more to say than Mouchette. Now, Mouchette, go see that movie. I mean, take a lot of antidepressants before you watch it. But yeah, they're both very, very incredible dramas, hands down. But yeah, L'Argent, it stuck with me more. It really, really did. And I really would like to see this other man's films. I don't even know if his other films are this bleak and depressing, but even if they are, there's nothing wrong with that. Alejandro González Iñárritu, he did, well, it's not depressing, but he did Birdman, The Revenant, but before that he did movies like Amores Perros and 21 Grams and Babel. In 21 Grams, Naomi Watts plays a woman whose husband and 2 children are killed in a car accident, and you see her when the doctors tell her that her husband and 2 daughters have been killed in the car accident. You see her react. Jeez. She should have won an Oscar, but she was up against Charlize Theron for Monster, so obviously Monster beat 21 Grams. But anyway, why do I say that? Because sometimes it's okay to make depressing movies. They stick with you, and I own 21 Grams on Blu-ray. That's kind of the only trivia, and like I said, all non-professional actors in this film, and it makes the film a lot more authentic. It makes it a lot more realistic. It makes it a lot more... I keep saying effective, but I can't think of any other words. Sometimes when you see big actors in a small movie, I still have trouble taking it seriously. And that's why non-actors are better. I thought I was going to say something clever, but nothing came out. The best moment. That last shot, man. They're just so quick. But I think just in general, the shot of, or the sequence of, Yvon. Oh my God, why am I blanking? I'm sorry, it's late. Yvon, when he just confesses to the police officer, I'm a killer. You have to take me in, okay? Yeah. Mais est-ce que je suis d'accord avec les critiques de ce film? So, a lot of... I'm noticing this with film critics. They love movies that are the last movie of that director. Like, they really, really love that. And L'Argent, I mean, thank God it was a good movie. I do agree that this was absolutely an excellent, final film for Bresson. So... Farad Chedden from A Good Movie to Watch said, "The gradual brutalization of this once honest man plays out like a grim certainty. But what is surprising is L'Argent's final suggestion that redemption, even after so much ugliness, is possible. What a note to end a career on." Damn, I like that a lot. It is a great movie for him to end with. But, it's like I say, humanity. Now, this critic says redemption. Humanity, redemption kind of means the same thing. But I think that's kind of what makes L'Argent a little significant, is that it's not like a happy, like, oh, everyone's, they're good people deep down. It's like I said, you're not meant to really feel sympathy for these people, but it's a different film in that it kind of could have ended so much more dark than it already is. But Bresson adds a little tiny bit of hope in the end, Damn. I keep saying, why do I keep saying damn? And why do I keep saying I keep saying? I'm sorry. Dave Kerr of Chicago Reader said, Bresson, working his soundtrack as assiduously as his visuals, once again makes us realize how little use most films make of the resources of the cinema. A masterpiece. Yeah, and that's also what I like about Bresson. He's less. He uses less in his films. Less. Less is better a lot of the times, in my opinion. Especially for, indie character study films like this. Anthony Lane from New Yorker said Bresson, who was 82 years old when the film came out and clearly in no mood for mellowing, frames the acts of wickedness, both great and small, with a terrifying calm. It's a very calm movie. It is very calm. Yeah. Even like when Yvonne kills the people at the end, there's no screaming or, there's no grossness in it. It makes the experience all the more chilling, in my opinion. Paul Atanasio of Washington Post said, the movie's pleasures are the classic pleasures of the art film. Niceties of technique, juxtapositions of image and sound, a judiciousness in choosing what is shown and what isn't. Like I said, Bresson is very careful and meticulous with what is on screen and what is not. You see it. You really do. You get that a little bit. That's his not shtick. What am I trying to say? To style. Adrian Miles of Sense of Cinema said, sacred cause and action is outside of reason. This is one of its sacred aspects and will always remain mysterious. In Bresson's world, we are fallen too. I really like that because this is a movie about cause and action overall. It is about how the best example I can think of is A Separation, this really good Iranian film from 2011. I think it won Best Foreign Language Film at the Oscars. It's a film about one action that happens and it sets off all of these fireworks and all these conflicts, literally like a domino effect. Everything just goes crazy bad. And this movie, L'Argent is just like that. It's all because of that fake money at the beginning, the forgeries. It just sets everything off badly. And it's like, this is a movie that really does make you think, whose fault was it? From the very get-go. Was it the little boy's fault in the beginning because his dad wouldn't give him money? I mean, I think so. Is it really one of the best movies of all time? Oh man, I'm gonna say yes. It's really hard sometimes to really, it's hard to say, why is this one movie one of the best films of all time? It is so... okay, how do I word this? A great movie is one, critics have said this, so I'm going to try and sound original, even though I'm not. A great movie is one that literally grabs you by the heart, and when it's over, you still feel that tension, It's dangerous, obviously, so if you have heart conditions, don't see a movie like L'Argent, but, unless you just don't like it, but then I think you'll be okay, but... L'Argent, though, for me at least, it's when a film can do that to me, I consider it to be one of the best films. When a film, just a simple work of art, when an hour and I think 23 minutes is how long this movie is, when that much can really shake you to the core, I think it's one of the best. So check it out. Check out Mouchette. Check out L'Argent. And in the meantime, two things. Don't let money ruin your life because money is I won't say the B word, bitch, but money is bad. And good but bad, good but bad, good but bad. I know that we all need it, but hopefully in L'Argent, when you watch it, you will not turn into Yvonne. Please don't turn into Yvonne. So thank you all. Stay safe. Don't turn into an axe killer. And in the meantime, please get your ass off the couch and go to the goddamn movies. Okay, please just do it. I don't care if you forgot to put deodorant on and you have BO. You can sit in the mood, go to a matinee and go to a part of the theater where nobody can smell you, okay? Go to a big theater. That is fine. We've all smelled at points in our lives, okay? When I saw the last Planet of the Apes movie, I literally had to do that. I had to sit so far away from people because I couldn't raise my arms above my head, okay? It was embarrassing, but nobody even knew until now, all right? Do it. I got out of there alive. You can too. Be brave. I believe in you. We're all brave. We're all strong. Bye-bye.
Oh, you made it. You made it. You made it. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of I'm Reviewing Here. New episodes drop Tuesdays and Fridays. You can get this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Feel free to follow me on Instagram at I'm Reviewing Here. You can also subscribe on YouTube. New episodes drop there the same day they drop on the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe. Please leave a review if you'd like. Be mean, be nice, hit on me. I don't really care. Candor really, really is important to me, and, you know, it helps the podcast too. So I really hope you enjoyed it. This podcast is brought to you especially by Nervous Chuckles. That is my fake production company because I make people nervously chuckle all the time because they never know if I'm telling a joke or not. So they're always like, do I laugh? Do I not laugh? Is he serious? Is he insane? Did he get out of the loony? What's going on? So if I made you nervously chuckle, then that means that I did my job, and thank you. There is no funding for this podcast, but if you want to give me money, then yeah, like hit me up, DM me. Bye-bye.